Ronald and William. Sorry.
Maybe to put a face to the name.
William Kayongo, not Kayondo. I'm
Yes.
so sorry, William.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hey.
Yes, I'm here with Robina at the WIB Center. We are really excited to be part of this. And I'm also very glad to see that we are having this first opportunity for us to showcase what DFCU has for you. But at the same time, also delighted that one of our own is actually managing this. So
okay, let's not get let's not get carried away. Let's have the people.
Okay. Yes,
Yes.
let me allow Robina to introduce herself.
Yes, it's such a distinguished opportunity to be speaking to you. This is Robina Amanyira Renitwe, and I'm the manager DFCU Bank, Women in Business. And of course, we all know that women are best savers. I hope everyone knows that we are the best savers, yes. And of course, DFCU felt that if we are doing it right for the bank, for a woman, we shall be doing it right for the bank. And of course, for the nation at large. Yes, we have so many offerings, quite a number, and I think this is intentional to go straight to grow, but we have so many offerings at DFCU Bank, Women in Business offices, and of course, DFCU has got a fully fledged department specifically for women, and the Grow project I'm here to talk about falls under the same department. And now Grow is the new baby on the block that we should only talk about. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Robina. So let's straight away go into the presentation. You'll confirm again if you're able to see our screen.
I can see the screen, William.
Okay, thank you very much. For the purpose to put this into perspective, DFCU Bank has been here for the past 60 years. And one of the indigenous banks that have come out strong to support any woman or women-led business. So this morning, as highlighted, we are here to give you some insights on what DFCU is doing in the women-led businesses, but also to focus on the new initiative under Grow. It has been stated that this is an opportunity for us as women to take up that additional financing that your business has always been looking out for, and also to guide you on when are you ready to take on this financing and what do you look out for when you are going into this financing. So Robina is going to take us through the first slides, and then I'll take on the second part of the slides, and then we shall be able to welcome any questions that we have for the day.
Yes, Grow, of course, we all understand Grow, I think, because it is all over the world, it is all over the country, and Grow is generating growth opportunities for women entrepreneurs. And this is a Government of Uganda project funded by World Bank and jointly implemented by PSFU, that is Private Sector Foundation of Uganda, and then the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Grow financing facility, of course, this is under Women in Business at DFCU Bank. And of course, we are working with ADC, that is Development Center, Agribusiness Development Center. We are ensuring impactful lending to targeted beneficiaries with a goal of transforming lives and businesses as our aspiration. And then our slogan is growing further together. Yes, we have the target market. Yes, we are targeting small and medium enterprises. We are targeting refugee hosting districts. We are targeting women with disabilities. And then we are targeting less advantaged people. Yes, when you look at the eligibility, of course, the borrower must be a woman. or majority woman-owned company. What am I trying to say? That you must be a sole on the company that is registered as a sole or single member or a company. And if it's a company, it has to be, if you're a woman, you have to be 51% shareholding. Just for example, if you have a company and you are a man and a woman, a woman has to be to have the majority shareholding in the company than a man. For example, if there are 2 women in the company and then 1 man, 3 people, and then a woman, one of the women is holding 31, and then another one 21, and then a man is 50%, that one can qualify. We are not financing startups. We are not financing startups. Of course, this money is coming from the government of Uganda, and we need to see you to see at least to confirm that you have started already, and we are going to support you the way you are, since you have already started. We are financing to, we are not refinancing. What am I trying to say, to mean here? We, for example, if you have a loan with DFCU and you need a grow financing facility, it's all about capacity. How are we going to put, how are we going to run the 2 loans concurrently? And of course, we are not consolidating the 2, but we leave the 2 to run concurrently. It is all about capacity. Yes. We, of course, this loan is not for groups. This loan is not for groups. This grow financing facility, we do not finance groups. Just take an example of a group going for a visa application. They will look at you individually. They will look at you case by case. And of course, when they, for example, they're asking for the statements, they're asking them individually. So we do not finance groups. This grow financing facility does not finance groups. We have a minimum amount of 4 million. Anyone can get money below from 4 million and to 200 million. And the tenor is 2 years. It is strictly 2 years for this grow financing facility. We have an interest rate of 10%. This is fixed, but at a reducing balance. It is really a good rate for everyone, for all the ladies who can get a facility from DFCU Bank. Yes. Borrowers who repay on time, they get a bonus of 5%. What am I trying to mean here? That if, for example, if you've gotten 100 million and you're paying it in 1 year and you've paid it for 6 months, that is halfway satisfactorily, you'll get a bonus of 5%. We are, of course, dealing with persons with disabilities. We've already singled out the people at New Park, the team leader for the disabled, and she is going to lead us to the people who can qualify for our grow financing facility. Yes, we are dealing with vulnerable and marginalized groups like Batwa, Tapet, and Benit. These are groups in Kasese and Chisoro and of course different districts in the country. Of course, we are going to deal with the beneficiaries drawn from the poverty lines. And yes, we are dealing this case by case. And of course, lastly, but not least, we do not have arrangement fees on this loan facility. Yeah, this loan does not attract any arrangement fees on it, but we can only be charged when you're doing valuation and then perfection. That is the registration of the mortgage. That is the only cost that you can incur as a woman. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Robina, for that insightful presentation. Maybe just also to put this into perspective, colleagues online, to re-echo in terms of what we are doing under GROW. The key fact here is to ensure that you are a women-led business. So what is the financing opportunity here? So the financing opportunity, the first thing is to ensure that you are eligible. So let's go into the eligibility Robina that talked about. Are you a woman with a registered business? That's the first question you need to ask yourself. Are you a company with at least 51% shareholding with women? So you can be in that company as an individual, as a man, But as Robina stated, you have either your partner or you have more than 3 women that are holding, but when we add their shareholding, gives them a 51% shareholding. So what is critical for anyone to understand is that the women in that company must be holding 51% as an individual or as a number of women in the same company. Do you have an account with DFCU Bank or you want to open an account? So the first inroad for you, if you are going to come to DFCU, we need to open that account. So once you have answered this, that is the first question you need to know. If it's a yes, then I'm going to go on to the next step. If you are not having this, then you do not qualify for this, but you can access other DFCU products and services. In particular, for women in business, apart from Grow, we also partnered with EIB and were able to extend to you financing at 17%. That is on our other services, but categorically under Grow, as Robina stated, it's at 10%, but you must first answer the first questions on your eligibility, whether you own 100% share holding in that company or you own at least 51%. So if it's a yes, what happens? There are different financing solutions that we have for you. I'll start with the first LPO or contract financing. The question we ask here is, are you looking for funds to implement a contract or a local purchase order, or do you have an invoice? What this means is that you have a contract as a woman, as a lady-based business, but you are looking out for financing. If you demonstrate that you have actually been doing this business for the past 1 year and you have served a similar contracts to different companies, maybe also to clarify here, the company that is employing you to do that particular, to extend that service to them, to deal with that LPO, it must also be credible enough. Because at the end of the day, we need to certify that once you have finished the job, they have the ability to pay you. So if you review that and you come to DFCU, we are able to discount 70% of the LPO or contract financing or an invoice. We discount the face value up to 70%. To put it into perspective, if you have an LPO of 100 million, DFC is able to extend to you 70 million of that. So, and this is going at only 10%. And usually we look at the tenor under which you are going to perform. And then we structure the facility within the same specified tenor. For instance, if you have been given to execute within 30 days, what DFC will do will discount for you at 70%, but actually enable you to pay within 90 days. Why 90 days, which are 3 months? Because by the time you are finishing to execute, usually most contracts require that the payment is going to be processed by 30 days. So which is 30 days for you to perform, 30 days to process the payment. And then if the payment is received within the 30 days, well and good. But we give you an allowance of 1 extra month just to take care of any delays within the same period. But what is also very critical for this is that in the event that you are paid earlier, only the interest component for that period will be taken. So which is a very good thing, that you are able to manage even your interest expense. That is all about the LPO or contract financing. Then the next question, are you looking for money to finance farming operations? You have a very good concept. You have so many people, especially those who have gone into production. They go into the likes of cattle fattening, the guys who are doing maize. This is an opportunity for you. You have a poultry farm. This is all production. So if you identify yourself as someone who is into agriculture and there's an opportunity for you to add on some additional working capital to facilitate the production of your farm, DFCU is the bank for you. So what are we saying here? What you need to demonstrate is that you are running this business as a company or as an individual, but there is history in terms of your records of doing this business. At least your financing can be reflected anywhere. So what you need to do is to come and tell us your production lines. We should be able to understand your cycle, your seasonality, and then we structure the grow facility for you. Then, are you looking to grow your business? If you are looking to grow your business and you are at a micro level, at a small level, we have what we call Baraka loan. Now, a Baraka loan, Baraka means luck. So if you're a micro institution, a small company, or an individual who is starting to have this, we have the Baraka loan where we are able to accept sales agreements. Now, the sales agreements in particular, these we are considering mainly for the upcountry regions, Kampala, Metro, and Central. This is not eligible for the sales agreement. But under that, we also have a business growth loan, which can cater for the aspect of growing your business. Then the last one, are you looking to buy that equipment or vehicle or any business asset that you'd want? What is critical is that so many of us are starting small production lines. We need assets that can improve these different avenues. So when you come to DFCU, we are able to assess the kind of asset that you are acquiring. And once we review and the kind of asset is going to have an impact on your business, then you are eligible. What is also very critical for us here is that this asset acts as security that we are taking for that particular financing. So this also reminds me on the question that has been going around within the different medias about growth financing, whether this is an initiative that government has come up with the World Bank to give free money. I wish to clarify that grow money is not free money, but it has come at a time when the cost of financing is really high. So what government and World Bank and the different participating banks have agreed is to price this particular solutioning at a little bit lower than the industry average rates. That's why we are going at 10% as DFCU, which is one of the cheapest, by the way, in the market. We are at 10%. But ultimately, what any one of us should know that this is money that must be paid back. And this is money that is extended upon you meeting the criteria of the bank policies and procedures. But that said, we have sweetened it further in a number of avenues to ensure that you are able to obtain this financing very easily. So you need to have that security component at the back of your mind that you are able to pledge. Then the second one, you need to review your cash flows, them having the ability to meet the monthly, quarterly, or biannual repayments that we are tagging. So your business must demonstrate that the additional financing that you need to get under grow, it can be able to meet the expectations and also be able to pay back. Then what are the key features? Robina had highlighted this, but I will try to give more insights. Of course, on the products I've taken you through, those are the products that as DFCU we are able to partake under the Grow Initiative. We have what we call the Baraka, which I mentioned, the business growth loan, the consumer asset financing, the agricultural production loan, and the LPO stroke contract financing. So these are the different products we have or solutions for you. The interest rate as stated is 10% per annum at a reducing balance basis. And the maximum tenor for this loan, it will be 2 years. On the side of eligibility, we talked about that, the 51%, and we do not have any refinancing. Now, what do we mean by refinancing? A number of customers have come up and said, I have a loan in this bank, I have a loan with DFCU, I have a loan with this microfinance institution, I have a loan with my money lender, mention it. But this particular one, what we are saying, we cannot give you money to go and buy out that loan because you got that loan expensively. What we are focusing on is to ensure that the new money that we are giving to you, it is meeting the purpose of your business, your current need. So that's why we are very specific. And even in the tailoring this particular product with World Bank and PSFU, we did agree that there will not be any refinancing. Then also what Robina talked about, that we are not extending this particular loan to groups or circles. There is an initiative under PSFU and the World Bank where the groups and circles are going to be considered. And this is something that should be closed out between this month, which is October and November. And once we get those criteria, we shall also be able to extend them. Then the other aspect was on the overdrafts. Some of the customers came through and were requiring for overdrafts. Now, overdrafts are short-term financing solutions that are able to bridge your gap when you have cash flow shortfalls. But this particular one, the only short-term financing we have here is for the LPOO contract financing facets. Then the rest, it must be a term loan, a loan that is going to move for at least 6 months or a year, and then the maximum is 2 years. So this goes to the other aspect or questions that have been asked, that if I'm an enterprise, but I've outgrown most of the microcredit and life full programs, so how much do I qualify? We are able to assess you, and your qualification, you qualify from 4 to 20 million. Then if you're a woman-owned microfinance enterprise, but you have potential to move from a micro setting to a small, then there you are eligible from 20 to 40 million. So basing on where you are, at what stage, definitely it mentions what you qualify for. Then the last one, if you are a woman micro enterprise, but you have potential to move from small to medium, you are on a positive trajectory and there are those demands that your business is asking for, then you qualify from 40 to 200 million. Now, someone is going to ask, yes, I might be in the different sections that you have stated as DFCU. I'm at a medium, but I don't require the 40 million. I require 20. Do I qualify to come and apply? Definitely, you qualify to apply at any of the different segments that we have highlighted here to you. But here, we are pointing it out to you for you to know where you are comfortable and where you belong. And when you come, the first thing that we do is listen to your story of the business, listen to your financial demands, and also listen to your ability to be able to take on this financing. So these are the products just to mention to you in terms of what we are selling out. This we already mentioned in terms of, just to put it into perspective, on agriculture production, what the Barrack is all about, the asset financing, the LPO contract financing, then the business growth loan. Then lastly, I will not spend so much time here in terms of the checklist that we look at. We send out this checklist. When you go to any of our 54 branches, these are the critical things that we look out for in order to see that someone is qualifying. Of course, the first thing that you need to do when you go to the branch, you will be taken through an application form that you need to have filled in. Then the second thing, we need the passport photographs, you as an individual, acceptable identification, in this case, your national ID. In the event that you're a company, we go through the company KYC documents, which relate to the time when you're registering this company, which is very critical for us, because if you're a company, we need to ensure that you meet the requirements. Then for individuals, we also look out for the trading licenses. Now, I would also speak on the issue of the trading license, especially for colleagues who are operating in one shop, but you are more than one person. It's happening, especially when you go downtown. So what we always require is for you to consent that this is a trading license that this person has been using, but also we encourage the individual to be able to have their own trading licenses going forward. Of course, the certificate of registration of the business, and if you have a TIN number. Of course, many of you have also come to us and clarified, I do not have a TIN number. I do not have, some of them were asking if we require NSSFs. So these are things that we are going to sit down with you for you to, as we go along, to be able to acquire. But at the time of initiation, especially businesses that are downtown, some of them had not been logged onto the TINs and they have not gone to the NSSF, but these are not a must-have. Then lastly, I would go to the board resolutions. For the board resolution, it is very critical for us, reason being that you really need to see that the company has resolved to come and take on this loan. So we can only confirm this through a board resolution. What is also very critical from this list is your credit history. Now, you must have a financial card, but of late, we have integrated with NIRA and we are able to get your financial information in terms of the previous borrowing through your national ID. So we are able to get this, and once we reconcile, we are able to review your eligibility for this credit. In a nutshell, that's what GROW is all about. But as I end, the two or the critical factors that we need to focus on, colleagues, when you are coming in for GROW is review your business case, understand your business story, and then let's sit down together and find out which level you are at and what you qualify for and why you are able to get this financing and be able to pay back. So as DFCU, we have 54 branches across all the regions within Central, Metro, Western region, Northern region, and the Eastern region. So any of our branches there, they are able to support you onto the GROW loan. So we look forward to any clarifications that you would need, or any additions that you would want us to clarify in this forum. DFCU, our promise is to ensure that our promise and purpose is to transform lives and businesses in Uganda. And one of the initiatives was to join the GROW project, where we are going to be very impactful and ensure that each and every women-led business in Uganda is supported within this initiative. Maybe for those of you who need also more insights, is that DFCU still has the money. I saw what's going on in the media, where some people say that the money is not there. The money is still there. We have extended it to, we have a number of people who have actually benefited from this, and we look forward to having that referral, that multiplier effect from this forum to ensure that you are able to get this money. Thank you very much. Back to you, Belinda.
Okay, thank you so much, Ronald, for that presentation about the GROW project and financing opportunities that are available at DFCU Bank. For those of you who are not aware, DFCU Bank has been working with women for over 15 years. So they have the experience, they know the heartbeat of the women in business, and it's also a plus that they have qualified to partner with the government of Uganda to be able to disperse the GROW loan facility. So William and Robina, we have another hour to go, and we have some questions for you. Where I sit right now, I am excited about the opportunity of the GROW facility. I see the initiative by the government of Uganda, World Bank, and PSFU to make financing affordable for women. That removes obstacles at a certain scale. But as you can imagine, William and Robina, there are still obstacles. As you are going through the presentation and you touched a bit on the registration of companies, some of our colleagues are wondering, isn't registration the requirement for a company to have registration already an obstacle, and businesses that are in vulnerable communities registered? So the question here is, has DFCU, wouldn't it have been better for you to run a registration drive, a business registration drive, before the Grow loan facility was rolled out? Okay, that is where we are with the questions. So get ready for a ride. By the end of this recovery series, we would have gotten all the information we need to get to be able to come and pick that money. It needs to run out very soon, because I hear other institutions have exhausted their funds. So guys, let's have questions for William and Ronald. The first one for you is, yeah, so isn't the requirement for a business to be registered an obstacle? Let's deal with that. And how do businesses in the rural areas or in vulnerable communities, how are they able to qualify for the Grow loan if they don't have registered entities? So let's start with that as other colleagues send in their questions. William?
Okay, Belinda, thank you very much for that question. And let me put it into perspective. Two things. The first one is the issue of registration of the business. Now, for any company that, for companies, it's a little bit easier, because by the time you are coming in to open an account as a company, you have already registered this business. Some businesses actually go ahead and they operate under a business name, meaning they have registered this business, so they have saved the name, and they're operating as sole proprietors, and what is pending is for them to go into forming the rightful company. Now, what have we done for those businesses, especially in the rural areas that have not formally registered? The key requirement here is to demonstrate that you have at least a trading license. If you have a trading license, I'll give an example of our colleagues who are operating within Owino, Chikubo, and I mentioned that some of them are operating within one kiosk, but there are around like 4 or 3 business lines in there. But you may find that they might be operating in one unit, but each one of them has an individual trading license. Why a trading license? It demonstrates that you are operating within a particular locality, that you are known, and also as a matter of meeting the different city council requirements. We do not want to lend to you money today, and tomorrow we find out that you do not have any location, you are not identified by your business city council requirements. So the two, if you do not have a registered business, at least have a trading license. So many women, actually, as someone has mentioned, many of the women that are doing business today, they may not have a formidable company fully registered. But when you look at where they are located and they have a trading license, they're actually doing very big business. So the minimum requirement here is that at least show us that you are licensed to do this business. I hope that answers the key question in the room, Belinda.
No, there's still a big elephant in the room.
Okay.
Don't go just yet. Naomi here is saying she's doing bull fattening. Does she really need a trading license? And then the other question is, one of your target communities is people in target groups is people in vulnerable communities. I've been to Bwindi and I've been with the Batwa. They do their crafts. They work. They work with. They come up with items to souvenirs for tourists. I'm sure those businesses also need financing. How would you advance a loan to a Motwa in Bwindi? And by the way, William, most of them are in groups. Yeah, they're in community groups. So let's use the example of vulnerable communities like the Batwa, who are mostly in groups and who are doing small little businesses. I don't know if URSB is in Bondi Bojo. Talk to us about that complexity of vulnerable communities. Refugee communities are okay, they are structured, but vulnerable communities, even disabilities, people with disabilities have a better structure. But let's talk about the minorities like the Batwa.
Thank you, Belinda. And that's a very good question. And as categorically stated that these are vulnerable groups and they need financing. And one of the key categories that we placed them, that at the initiation of GROW, we looked at the first target market immediately were the women-led businesses that are already known from the group setting. But as I stated, that we are looking out for avenues of extending credit to the groups, which is going to be in the second part of growth financing. And as I stated, this is an initiative that we are still discussing with PSFU and World Bank, and we are going to be able to lend to the women-led businesses in groups. And as you stated that these are groups that are doing very unique businesses, and when you lend to them as an individual, they may not be able to take on the credit. But when you look at the activities that they are doing as a group, they actually have cash flows. They can demonstrate to you how much was our group able to produce this month, how much cash flows have come in, and then even on how much have we spent. So that is coming into the second part of the GROW initiative. Then when you look at our colleagues with disabilities, as Robina stated, we have identified different organizations, different associations that are taking on the marginalized groups with disabilities. So what we are looking out for is to have this also approached from a structured point of view with that particular association to be able to take on credit. That is on the mass side. But we have also identified the women with disabilities that are having formidable businesses that need to be supported. We have identified those. And we have also gone out to our different regions where we are operating to identify the different groups that we are able to support. So that is very critical for us, but at the moment, we have not gone an extra mile to be able to extend credit to the likes of Abattoir. We are going to do that in our second phase, which is more on group focused. Maybe also to answer the question of, I have a business that is into cattle fattening, and do I require a bull fattening? Do I require a trading license? Now, we have a number of colleagues who are doing cattle fattening, and what you require is there are different, for instance, I will give an example for groups that are in Rushere, the groups that are in Ibanda. They have different associations. They have authorizations within the local district councils to operate these businesses, because they usually go to open markets and they actually do the trade. They have permits to trade under the cattle fattening way of initiating the business, and they also go an extra mile to have permits to move this cattle. And even when you go to their financial statements or bank statements, they can actually demonstrate to you that they are doing this business. So this is a business that we are able to sit down with you. We assess, as long as we get the comfort that you are the one running this business and you can demonstrate that you have particular records of running this business, we are able to extend this to you. Then there's another question that I saw in the chat about LPO financing. Now, when it comes to LPO financing, we are able to extend up to a maximum of 200 million. But in order for you to qualify for 200 million, the contract financing that you bring on table should be over and above the 200 million, so that when we discount the 70%, you qualify within the contract value that you have presented. So 70% of your contract value, if it gives you the 200 million, you are able to have it. And then someone else also said, so does this affect the LPO other than in any way? That is talking about the NIN, according to Joseph, the NIN verifier, the loan history. Here, there are so many women who received PDM loans, which is also 2 years repayable period. So does this affect the LPO or any other financing anyway? No, it doesn't really affect. Bring the scenario to us. We should be able to assess it and ascertain your qualifying criteria in that aspect. Yeah, thank you, Belinda.
Great, thank you so much, Ronald. You've addressed the entry stages of acquiring this loan. Now let's go to the next stage of collateral. When we were launching the Grow facility, I think the first Grow launch for DFCU, one of the members brought up the issue of collateral, knowing that not so many women have land titles or assets that they can use to borrow. How can they navigate that aspect of collateral to make sure they don't miss out on the Grow loan?
Yes, thank you, Belinda. About security, we are allowing titles, we are allowing sales agreements, and those are in the outskirts of Kampala. And of course, we know that in the remote areas, there are people, there is land that is not registered, but they have sales agreements. We are actually bending low to even accommodate the targeted group of low-income earners who can't afford titles, but can afford the land sales agreements. Yes, I think with that, we can balance the two, the titled and then the non-titled. And then whoever doesn't have a title, we are again bending low to them, like to reach out to their men who have the titles, so that they can co-borrow, so that we can use that same title, so long as the man is in agreement. Yes.
Okay, I recall someone also mentioned that if you have a brother or maybe a spouse and they have collateral, you just need to have an agreement so that you can bring it to the bank and actually be able to access the loan. So to the women on the group, let not having collateral be something that, you know, deters you from acquiring this money. There can be collaboration with family members and spouses. Okay. So William, did you have anything else to say?
I was giving a rejoinder, and good enough you have clarified it in terms of co-borrowing. As long as you demonstrate that the business is actually being run by the woman, and then the person coming in to give you that additional security we are requesting you to co-borrow with them, because they must be able to have value to you because they are giving you that security, but also to give that comfort that whereas this person has pledged the security, at the end of the day, they also are aware of the obligation that you are taking on as a woman. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, so is the land I inherited from my father with no title accepted? That is Kalen Nsime. William, please speak to that.
Okay, is the land I inherited from my father with no title accepted? Colin, unfortunately, we are not able to take on this land, and reason being that because it's land by inheritance, one, we need to get proper letters of administration, which will point you as the beneficiary. And also, what is critical in this nature is that we also need to see that that land, we start on the process of it being titled. And also, maybe also to go over and above the question on land that is under customary owned and land that is inherited from families, we really face challenges, especially the way it has been stated that this is land that was given to me. Sometimes, yes, that land has been given to you, but when we do a proper analysis on some of the scenarios that we have seen within the banking fraternity, that if the land has not really been transferred from the previous owner, who was your dad, to you legally in terms of having it titled and having you as the administrator in the event of any challenges by other family members, we have a high risk on taking on this land. So the advice that I can give to you is that you need to go an extra mile and have this land formally transferred to you, and you have proper records for it. So that kind of land, we are not able to take it on. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you, William. Susan, it's not why only land titles. I think land titles was an example. Yeah, are there other types of collateral you're accepting, William?
Yes, we mentioned that we are able to accept assets in terms of vehicles. Of course, when it comes to vehicles, we don't take on vehicles that are above 15 years from the date of manufacturing. Some of you have equipment for your businesses, like production lines that you have. We assess them, we value them, and see if these are credible assets that we can be able to take on. She also goes ahead and says that we are focusing on cash flows for the business, which is very critical, and that's why we are able to extend the unsecured financing under the contract financing arrangement. So what is critical for us, Susan, here is to come and we have a discussion. We look at the structure of your business and what it really requires us in regards to both the cash flow and also the asset that are being pledged. Also, what we also need to know is each and every business is unique. Each and every business is unique. And what I implore everyone is you must be able to tell the story of your business for us to get the nitty-gritty of your business, and also be able to appreciate the kind of loan that you are looking out for and how we structure it well for you. So don't hesitate to reach out to any of our branches and be able to be given that particular solutioning that your business needs. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so William, we have a stream of questions in the chat. I would like us to go through them with you. What period of time am I given to start paying back after the loan has been given? Because our products take 5 weeks to reach here after purchase. You said something about that. Maybe you can you can reiterate that.
Okay, Belinda, repeat that. I'm not able to see the chat has already moved.
Okay, this is to high Cynthia. What period of time am I given to start paying back after I've been given the loan? Because our products take 5 weeks to reach here after purchase.
Okay, thank you very much. So what I've already stated is, one, when we are structuring financing, we look at your business cycle. Now, she has stated that 5 weeks, that's when the goods reach here. So we look at, after the goods have reached here in Uganda, how long are they taking to be sold? So if you are purchasing goods and they reach Uganda within 5 weeks, we look at your ability to sell these goods. But also to mention is that when you look at your business structurally, it's not that you are only looking at the stock that is coming in. We are going to look at what is the current status quo of the business, because we are joining you in either in the middle of your cycle, because at the end of the day, there is already a business that you have been doing. So we are looking at the already business cycle that you are having. If I give you a loan of 20 million, with an installment of 2.5 million per month, is the business able, with the existing cash flows, is it able to meet that particular installment? Which also pushes me to another question. Colleagues, what we are looking out for is the existing business cash flows, and that is very critical for anyone who is coming for financing. You need to assess that your existing business cash flows can be able to take on the cost of financing. So if you come in the middle of your business cycle and you need to get this loan, and after 5 weeks, the business is not generating income as anticipated, and you're impacted, then your business will be greatly impacted by the additional cost that you're introducing to it. So to close this out is that come and we look at your business dynamics, and then we structure the time when you're supposed to pay based on the expectations. But usually the repayments are tagged on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, and biannual. So when you look at that cycle, does your business qualify for any of the repayment period? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. Sharon, your primary school teacher, you would like to, start a boutique. It is something that you're passionate about. Yeah, so unfortunately, I think the Grow Loan is not supporting startups. So let dear husband help us start the business. And then maybe on the second phase of the Grow Loan, you will be able to get some financing. Barbara Kayanja, what do I need to show for liquid soap project, poultry project, yogurt bongo project? Okay, what do you need to show for? I think towards the end of this discussion, William, you'll give us the requirements for the project, for the loan again, for the benefit of Barbara Kayanja. Akankwasa Joseph, if one is operating business in Mubende and the security is in Barara, is it possible they can be served? William?
Thank you very much. Yes, Joseph, if a business is operated in Mubende and security is in Imbarara, is it possible that we can be served? Yes, Joseph, we are able to serve you. What is critical here is that we shall visit the security in Mubende, have it reviewed, valued to ascertain the values of what you are looking out for. And then also in Imbarara, what we shall do, we shall come to your business promises, we review the business dynamics, we review whichever kind of trade you are in, and then we marry the two. We marry the business as well as the security that you are pledging to us. That's very possible, Belinda.
Okay, great. Albert Molele is asking, okay, so Albert, you're asking which bank this is. This is the FCU Bank. William, do you have a branch in Kitgum?
Yes, Belinda, there is a branch in Kitubum, yes.
Okay, great. So Albert, there you go. Ronaldo team, what's the maximum number of years for one to qualify? This question is not very clear. What's the maximum number of years for one to qualify? It's not very clear. Ronald, please throw more light on your question. The interest rate is 10%, Barbara, and it is the best in the market, and the validity of the loan is 2 years. It's 10%, Albert, not 10.5. For DFCU, it is 10%. That is the interest rate. Ronaldo team, I have been operating my business, but with a personal account. Is it still possible to access the low grow loan for my business? William, personal account?
Okay, I'm seeing Ronald or team to, okay. Ronald, first of all, eligibility. Eligibility, if either your wife or your sister is running the business, they will qualify. The grow loan is basically for women. But also to expound on this, there's a question that has come through, especially when someone has been operating business as an individual, all the business proceeds have been going onto their account. But then because they are growing, they form a company, and that company is formed, let me say, today, the 10th of October, 2025. And because they are looking out for financing and we are looking out for records, the person will come and say, but I don't have any record when it comes to the new company that I've formed. Definitely, we utilize the history that you had on your individual account. So, Ronald, in that aspect, we shall review your cash flow, we shall review your bank statements at the time when you are operating as an individual to give us that clarity that it's a business that you have been running and it is the same cash flow that is going to be generated out of the company. So that is very possible.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, William. Kathy Sendagere, my husband and I are directors in the kindergarten and primary school, but it is managed by me. Am I eligible to get this loan as a woman, yet we own this school together? I think William said the ownership should be 51% for the woman, Kathy. Yeah, so if you own 51% shares or more, please do walk into any DFCU branch and access this grow facility. So as we wait for our colleagues to send in more questions, this is the Business Recovery Series with Enterprise Uganda. My name is Belinda Namtebi. This morning, we are speaking to our friends from DFCU Bank, Women in Business. They are telling us about the Grow facility that has been advanced to financial institutions by Government of Uganda and the World Bank. Grow facility is for women registered businesses with more than 51% ownership. The business should be registered, and it's the interest rate is 10%, and it's valid for 2 years. At this time, William, I think we can talk about, there are some exciting things about repayment of the loan. So what is the journey of this loan? I've got the loan and I'm doing my business and I'm paying well. What does the future look like for me?
Thank you very much, Belinda. So today I've obtained this loan and I'm supposed to pay this loan, for instance, for 1 year or 2 years. So what is critical for us to understand is first, you need to understand your installment. How much am I paying on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, and by annual basis? So when you get the loan, it's very critical that you get what we call a loan schedule. The loan schedule is able to speak to the times when you are going to be paying, specifically on the dates, the amounts that you are going to be paying, and also you confirm that your loan has been tagged at the right interest rate. So once you confirm that and you start your payments, what Grow has come up with is that we need each one of us to be able to take repayment of the loan seriously, because the moment you pay very well, even the fund will be growing in order for us to have this initiative as an evergreen. So what World Bank, the government of Uganda and PSFU are looking out for is that, have you paid the loan very well? And if you pay it, even other people are going to benefit. So that's why I'm saying that you need to pay your loan religiously. So because you are paying your loan very well, the moment you reach 50% of your repayment period, for instance, the loan has been for 1 year, 6 months down the road, you have actually paid religiously. So we are able to get 5% of your outstanding balance and be able to contribute as part of the remaining payment. So we reduce your principal for you on that, which means that once we reduce that, we have supported you to repay your outstanding balance by 5%, which means that kind of money that you were going to pay to the bank, you can actually utilize it to do other activities to expand your business. So it's very critical that we meet this requirement in order for us to benefit from that rebate. So that is it, Belinda. We are encouraging everyone to pay your loan religiously in order for you to benefit from that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you see, fine, we have a few obstacles, especially at the start, but it is very exciting to see that there are incentives along the way. What I feel from this whole Grow facility arrangement or opportunity is that women, fine, we are very good at doing business, we are very good at paying our loans back, but let us be serious about doing business. It is the only way for us to be able to make it. The opportunity for us to access this money is available. If there are any obstacles that we experience now, let us work on them so that the next time this opportunity is available, we do not miss out. Yeah, we can go and register our businesses. We can look for collateral. We can work in groups. Let us make sure that on our own, in our personal initiative, we do something to make us ready to receive financing because it benefits us, okay? Barbara Kayanja is asking, how different is this business? Is this from bank loans? Many times one applies for 10 million but receives 7 because security, insurance, etc. How much do I receive? I think William said there are no arrangement fees. You can clarify on that, William.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. On Barbara's question, how different is this from the bank loans? Many times one applies for 10 million, but they receive 7 because security, insurance, etc. have been deducted. How much do I receive? Okay, Barbara, thank you very much. Now, for this particular loan, first of all, I'll start with the 10 million versus the 7. One, when you do when you apply for a loan, we do an assessment and look at your affordability, your ability to pay. So when we assess and find out that your business cash flows can be able to meet only 7 million, that is what will be in your offer letter, the letter of offer. It will be 7 million. And within that letter of offer, there's usually what we call an arrangement fee, which depending on the bank, which is usually either 3%, 2%, 1%, or 0.5%, depending. Now, the 2% or 3% is usually deducted from the amount that was approved. What is so special with the Grow loan, we do not have any arrangement fees. So if you have applied for your 10 million, that 10 million will be credited onto your account. The only cost that you will incur before we even put the money there are instances where we need to do a valuation report for the security you are pledging, as well as catering for the mortgage fees, which those are mandatory costs, but we do not obtain this money from your loan. These are costs that you are going to pay prior. And what is also very critical for us to appreciate from the GROW is that all the other amenities that you usually receive on the other loans were put down. So the only cost here that you are going to look at is mainly the valuation report and the mortgage registration. But maybe what you have also mentioned here is the insurance, is that because we are also cognizant of the fact that the property where your business is operating, we need to insure this business, or the property which you are taking up as security as a bank, we also need to insure this for the benefit of both you, the business owner, but at the same time as a bank in the event of any eventuality. So that is very clear. I hope that this particular loan does not have arrangement fees.
Great. That's a plus for women. You apply for 10 million shillings, you get 10 million shillings. Is that right, William?
That's very true, Belinda.
Great. So we still have some questions in the chat. We have about 15 minutes to the end of this discussion. Joey Luti Musisi, are you a lady or a guy? But you're saying, if I applied today, when would I have the money available? William Kagwira, when does the money hit the account? How long does it take?
Okay. Our promise as a bank to get back to the customer is 48 hours, which is 2 days. Now, I also to clarify on this. 48 hours, as long as you are provided all the relevant information. And I also need to highlight this to everyone, not only for the GROW project, but generally. When you go to any financial institution, it's very critical for you, as you are applying for any facility, to ask the hard questions. Ask the information requirement. I know we are obliged as a financial institution to take you through what the requirements are. After your front office desk staff, after your relationship manager, branch manager, or any person you have met within the banking environment, it is very critical that they, if possible, if they are able to send you an email, if they're able to print for you all the requirements, you go back in your business, review the requirements, and then ensure that you have submitted most or 100% of the requirements. Now, why do we require that? Because we do not want to have a scenario where you have given me maybe 40% of the information and you require to have the money within 2 days or 3 days. So our promise is that if you give us all the requirements within 48 hours, we should be able to come back to you with a decision. Now, why are we saying a decision within 48 hours? Because there is another egg of that we focus on in terms of you executing the offer letters, in terms of you of us doing the general perfection. Now, that is for the long-term financing, which may take us a maximum of 7 days to conclude all that process. Now, I would speak to the categories of LPO financing. For the LPO financing or contract financing, the two critical aspects here is to confirm your LPO. So if you have given me all the information today, within 48 hours, I'm able to give you a decision. After the 48 hours, you return the offer letters. I would say by the next day or maximum another 2 days, you should be able to receive this money. So the call to action here is ensure that you have provided all the information that has been requested for. If you have been given the offer letters, execute them very fast, return them to the bank, and we should be able to review the documentation and return to you by crediting your account. Yeah.
Thank you. I have a question for you, William. This department is going to last for 2 years, and I'm very sure there will be grow facility part 2. Okay, so if I registered my business today, how long do I need to transact to be able to benefit from the grow loan?
Okay, if I got the question right, is the grow loan is here for 2 years.
Yes.
And then if you started transacting today, how long would you actually qualify? Okay, as we stated in the opening remarks, this is a facility for any person who has been doing business before. And we are looking at least you having been in business for more than a year, which means that why 1 year? Is that you need to demonstrate that you understand the business. You need to demonstrate that even when I'm giving you this additional financing for your business, the business is able to pay back. And this gives me another perspective. When you look at Uganda as a country, we are a very, very entrepreneurial country. And I will tell you that even today, you are going to find that we have around thousands of businesses that have started today by Ugandans. But what is critical for us to know is that because some of us start the businesses because Belinda has started that business, Robina has that business, Cynthia has that business, and you also want to do it. You have not started the business to reach to that maturity level of introducing debt to it. That's why we need to see that you have actually been in the business for more than 1 year. You have the records right, and when you are coming to borrow, your business is at that maturity level. We also don't want to give you money and we look at it in quotes as something that you are speculating about. So we need to give you money and understand that you are actually ready and your business has the capacity to stand for years. So to answer you right is that you need to at least a minimum of 1 year for having had that history of operations. So we also don't want to give you the money today and tomorrow we know that the business is totally down and then the introduction of debt to your business did not add any value, but rather it crippled the business and the business is normal. Yeah, thank you.
Great, William and Robina. And we want to thank you so much for your time on the Business Recovery Series this morning with Enterprise Uganda. Robina and William are from DFCU Bank, and the discussion today, the offering, we are talking about the terms and conditions apply to those who would like to access the Grow facility from DFCU Bank. There are 4 other institutions that received this facility, but the discussion today is for DFCU Bank. And the good thing about DFCU Bank, they have tried to cover quite a number of options, areas where we know women have been doing business. You know, we've been working with women for a very long time. We have the opportunity for you to get LPO financing, which William has explained, the agribusiness loan, and also the asset financing. So I think those 3 areas will be able to cover all our colleagues who have greenhouses, the people doing honey, the people doing mushrooms. But then we also have conditions. You need to be registered, you need to have a trading license, you need to have some form of collateral, an arrangement to have collateral, and your business should be owned by a woman, at least up to 51% ownership. So I would like to think that we have covered all the questions today. As we wrap up, William, I would like you to put up that slide again, the one for requirements. I think it was the last slide. Hello, William.
Yes, let me put up the slide.
Yes, so William is going to project the last slide, and he will take us through quickly as we come to an end. What I would like us to do is to take note of the things that we need to prepare, but then also visit a DFCU branch where you are so that you can start preparing to access this loan. You might be lucky that you have all the requirements at first hand, so it will take 48 hours. But if you don't, it is very important for you to find out how much work you need to do to make sure that you access the loan. And if you are not able to access the GROW facility this time around, let us prepare ourselves to be finance ready, if I can say that. Are we ready to receive funding or financing in our businesses? Because I know if it is a loan, it needs to be paid back. And the reason why they ask for registration is so that they can know where you're located. Also to collect some form of statistics, yeah, to be able to make decisions. So William, please take us through the requirements so that we can know what we need to work with. This is a very good slide. It summarizes everything that people need to know. And then let's get this money out and get women businesses running as they should. We have about 5 minutes to go.
Okay, thank you very much, Belinda. For all our colleagues who joined us later in the presentation, for anyone who is going to qualify for GROW, the first thing that you need to know is that you must have 51% ownership in the business. That is for companies. Now, if you are not running a company, you are a sole proprietor, you need to demonstrate that your company is registered. So you need to have a registration, a certificate of that business from the area where you are operating. This financing you are able to get from a minimum of 4 million to 200 million. Then when it comes to the tenor, you are able to get up to a maximum of 2 years. Then when it comes to the interest rate, we are having a 10% fixed interest rate at a reducing balance. If you pay your loan very well, that is for 50% of the repayment period. For instance, if your loan is 1 year and you pay for 6 months very well without any arrears, you qualify for a 5% reduction of the outstanding balance on your principal. Then as also for us to put this into perspective, for this particular facility, we do not require any arrangement fees, which means as one of our colleagues asked, if I apply for 10 million, am I getting 10 million onto the account? Yes, you get the 10 million onto the account. Maybe on this last one, what I need also to mention is the key other aspects that you need to know about this is the aspect of you formally applying for this facility. We have a formal application form. You need to apply at any of our branches. We need to have your passport photograph, a valid acceptable identification. In this case, we require the national ID. I talked about this trading license or certificate of registration for the companies, a board resolution for those that are having companies. And then the last one is your CRB, but that is the Credit Reference Bureau card. But as I mentioned, you also need to demonstrate that your history of payment is in check. Why? We need to see that all the outstanding loan payments that you had, you have been meeting them on time, and the additional debt we are giving to you is not impacting your core business. So that is it from us, Belinda. So we would wish to really thank everyone who joined in to be part of this conversation. As DFCU, we are really delighted to be part of this discussion, and we look forward to seeing you in any of our 54 branches. Yes, Robina, your parting remarks?
Yes, thank you so much for listening in, all of you. We have, as DFCU, we have a fully fledged department specifically for women, and the GROW project is under that department, under the umbrella of Women in Business. It is at head office Chadondo Road, and of course the office is Women in Business. Yes, we are looking forward.
Thank you so much, Robina and William. Is there a number somebody can call? Is there email? How do we reach you so that before we come to the bank, we have all our staff sorted? Is there a number that people can call?
You can get me on 0776.
0776, okay?
Yes, 760-248.
Okay, 0776 760
248. And then William?
752 962.
Okay, William 0752
962.
Okay.
455.
455. That is William. Great. Thank you so much, guys, for your time and for ably explaining to us what the Grow Loan Facility with DFCU is all about. We are excited about that 10%, and we are also excited about the wide access, the 54 branches where this loan can be secured with DFCU. We are going to work on our registration for the businesses, and also we're going to work on our collateral to make sure that when we come to you, we are ready to access the Grow Loan. Thank you. We've come to the end of the Business Recovery Series with Enterprise Uganda. My name is Belinda. Thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning. Now that we have the information, let's apply for the loan. Let's share the same information with our sisters, our mothers, our nieces, our friends. Let no woman have a reason not to run a successful business. So until next Thursday, I wish you a great weekend and a great day. Bye for now.